And I think a lot of people fall into this category. Hey, I'm not exercising. I have no interest in exercising. I don't like going to the gym. I don't like working out. I don't like feeling sweaty. I don't like feeling sore. I don't like feeling achy. I don't like exerting myself. There are a lot of people that fall into this category, and that's okay because we're going to give you the roadmap for how to get from there to being able to exercise on a consistent basis in this exercising for life.
Welcome to the Exercise is Health podcast, where we're talking about exercise, health, and the interconnectedness of the two. We are your hosts, Charlie
and Julie,
and we will be coming to you every single week from our studio, Muscle Activation Schaumburg.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Exercise is Health podcast. We are your hosts, Charlie
and Julie,
and we're coming to you from our studio, Muscle Activation Schaumburg in Schaumburg, Illinois. Now, at Muscle Activation Schaumburg, we believe your health is your most valuable asset. Your health is one of the biggest influencers of the quality and quantity of time that you have. And while there are many aspects of health, our expertise is exercise. Exercise has been proven time and again to not only improve your health, but also increase your longevity and improve your quality of life. And if you're looking for a way to increase your longevity, improve your quality of life, and boost your health overall, then you need to check out an event that we are holding in April, Saturday, April 4th, 2020. Julie, tell them more about this event.
So on Saturday, April 4th, 2020, from 9 to 12:30, we're going to be having the second annual Schaumburg Health Summit. We have found 8 professionals in the health field from the spectrum of health. So not all in one field. We have nutrition, mindset, physical activity, medical doctors, you name it, we're going to have it there. And they are going to be sharing a TED Talk-like talk, talking to you about how you can use something in their specialty, something they're learning, something they're exploring to help improve your own health. Not only that, we will have vendors there that will be giving out free stuff, cool activities. You definitely want to check it out. You can purchase your tickets by going to schaumburghealthsummit.com. You can follow the event page by looking up Schaumburg Health Summit 2020 and follow the event page. We'll also be posting a lot about it on our own social media on Facebook if you just follow us at Muscle Activation Schaumburg. So we hope to see you there.
Now, this week, we're talking about what we are calling the 5 stages of fitness. All right, look, New Year's resolutions have come and gone. A lot of people that started off the year super motivated may not be feeling as motivated right now. And so regardless of where you are on your fitness journey, as far as how excited you are about exercise, how frequently you exercise, or anything like that, we want to tell you how you can go from essentially being on the couch, not doing anything, to consistently exercising in a manner that will boost your health and function, what we call exercise for life. So how can you go from couch to exercising for life? And this is the 5 stages of fitness that will help get you there, okay? So the first thing that we want to tell you about is this stage 1, which is you are not exercising and you have no desire to exercise. And I think a lot of people fall into this category. Hey, I'm not exercising. I have no interest in exercising. I don't like going to the gym. I don't like working out. I don't like feeling sweaty. I don't like feeling sore. I don't like feeling achy. I don't like exerting myself. There are a lot of people that fall into this category, and that's okay because we're going to give you the roadmap for how to get from there to being able to exercise on a consistent basis in this exercising for life.
You know, a lot of people, you're right, do fall into this stage 1. And guess what? That's totally okay. You're not alone. And I do have to tell you one thing, that because you don't want to exercise and because you don't like to exercise doesn't mean that your body gets to have any of the benefits, because here's the one thing that's true about exercise. You have to exercise to get some of the benefits. But guess what? If you're in the first stage, it's totally cool. Again, you're not alone. This is normal because our bodies and our brains, I think, are really designed to conserve energy. Like, it's not natural, normal to be like, yeah, let me just go exert myself for an hour for no other reason, except for, this health goal that I won't even achieve until I'm, 80 years old, the stuff we always talk about. So I get it. Sometimes, we have this thing where we're not interested in exercise. We don't like it. We don't like to sweat. Soreness is uncomfortable. Sometimes we blame it on not having time, which is totally cool too. But that's our first stage. Now, generally, when people are in stage 1, there becomes an activity or something they like to do in life. And it doesn't even have to be a physical activity. Like usually when we say, exercise helps you do the things you like to do, you think of, that'd help me run more, bike more, golf more. But I don't like to run, bike, or golf, so I don't need to be exercising. Well, this actually applies to daily activity things like sitting at a desk or sitting on your couch relaxing. Can your body tolerate that activity, that position? Or playing with grandkids or traveling, things that aren't necessarily like physical activities per se, but do require your physical body to feel good. So normally when you're in stage 1, a lot of people think, well, there's X activity, and eventually there starts to become a realization that exercise or something has to be done so that I can continue to do this activity. Now, I see this coming to people in a couple ways, and some are more comfortable than others. And one of the ways is, I'm just getting less good at this thing. It's more hard for me to get off the floor when I'm playing with my grandkid, or it kind of is uncomfortable just to bend over and do my laundry, to get it out of the bin to put it into the dryer. That's getting taxing. I hope that you start exercising when you're at that phase, because the other thing we see a lot is when people are actually restricted completely from the activity they enjoy, meaning their body has completely stopped them from doing the activity they enjoy. Like you cannot sit on the floor to play with your grandkid because you can't get back up, or you can no longer golf because your back is in that poor of shape and conditioning that you can no longer handle the golf swing. So acknowledging that there's an activity, or discovering that there's an activity that you would like to be doing that you currently can't do, is something that usually gets people moving away from stage 1 and into stage 2. Now, one other thing that I also see a movement from stage 1, from stage 2, that's not necessarily activity based, but a life scare, which is very scary. Whether you see a loved one go through a health challenge that is preventable by exercise, like heart issues, blood sugar issues, things of that nature, this is usually a very big motivator. Or if it happens to you, you notice that your doctor has told you you're developing a heart condition, or you've already had an acute episode. So this is another thing, not necessarily an activity, but an acute health challenge that usually is actually chronic, meaning it's been developing due to lack of activity, lack of exercise, lack of nutrition, mindfulness. But usually it kind of surfaces in an acute event that is kind of it scares you, so then you move on to stage 2.
Yeah, Julie, that really is a big one to kind of get people going into stage 2. And stage 2 is, well, you're not currently exercising still, but now all of a sudden you have a desire to. So whether after having the health scare, seeing somebody else have the health scare, or realizing that, shoot, if I want to sit here and watch TV all day, guess what? My back can't be aching while I'm doing that, because that makes it way less enjoyable. So I need to do some stuff to make sure that, my core stays strong and, my hips stay working well, so I can sit here and watch TV all day. So, whatever activity it is that you want to do, whether it is just, watching TV all day. But there's something that now all of a sudden you've acknowledged that exercise is going to be a necessary part of the equation for you. And then you start to develop a desire to start to exercise, even though you're not, right? So you're not exercising right now, but you all of a sudden realize that, I need to start exercising. And so you start to develop a desire to exercise. And so then the question becomes, okay, well, how can you transition from stage 2 into stage 3, which is inconsistently exercising? And we'll go into that more about, the details behind that. But one thing that you can start to do if you feel like you're in stage 2 where you're not exercising, but you should and you have a desire to, is start to increase what we call all the time exercise. All right. So all the time exercise is the physical activity throughout your day that you probably wouldn't classify as exercise, such as walking up and down the stairs, or just walking farther back from the parking lot into your office building or into the grocery store. The general kind of low-level activity that you do throughout the day that you wouldn't necessarily say, all right, right now I'm working out. All right, that's what we call all the time exercise. And so by increasing that throughout your day, you're now all of a sudden increasing your physical activity throughout the day, which can start to, at a very low level, build up the health and function of your body, which can then help you progress into stage 3, which is inconsistently exercising with this, what we call all the time exercise, which is the stuff that we normally think of when we think about exercising, whether it's going for a run, going to the gym, lifting weights, things of that nature.
That's a great point, Charlie. And I think the nice part about all the time exercise that we really encourage you to start doing if you're in this stage, you're like, man, I should exercise, but I don't know what to do. I got to get special clothes, got to go to the gym. Is just start with the stuff you know how to do. Park at the back of the parking lot and walk into the store. Take an extra lap around your office building when you get up to use the restroom. Find ways to just sneak in a little extra motion, and you will be surprised at how quickly that will help you start feeling better. Getting off your booty, getting moving. Another thing is making sure you walk out to get your mail each morning. Do your stairs at the office if you have an office with stairs. Little things like that can really go a long way to get you moving, get small steps. And actually, there's a lot of research that shows that this really does impact your health in a very positive way. Now, if you want a little more guidelines on this, we do recommend that you get up every hour for 5 to 10 minutes. So you can always keep that in the back of your head that, hey, it's actually productive and shown to be productive if I'm up for 5 to 10 minutes every single hour. And all you have to do is get up, move, walk, go get a sip of water, pretend you've got something to walk to or something of that nature. So try that out. That's a great way to really take advantage of stage 2. Now, stage 3 is when you're inconsistently exercising. And by that, we mean more structured exercise. But usually it's still for like some kind of external result, meaning a physique change, like you want to lose weight or you want to gain bigger muscles, or for sports to change your performance. So those are like external things, like I want to get better at, or I want to look a certain way. Stage 3 is a great place to be. I want to say that because guess what? You're starting to do the next thing, right? You're moving throughout your day. But also you've inconvenienced yourself to go to the gym or meet with a trainer or go to a class. That's a huge deal. That means you're like prioritizing some point of your day to work on your health when you weren't previously. That's huge. That's so great. Now, usually when I brought up that external goal thing, that is a way to exercise. It's not a way that Charlie and I always recommend. It's not awful though, right? We'd rather you be exercising. But external goals is what people normally talk about with the gym too. So it's what you're going to run into first as well. Because usually, you're flipping through women's magazine and it's do this to build your booty. Do this to rev your metabolism, things like that. So you're doing things for external outcomes.
Yeah, Julie, you're right on. Like, stage 3 really is a great place for people to be because, like you're saying, they're starting this process or they're doing the process of exercising. And so we find that it's actually, once you can make the leap from stage 2 to stage 3, the next stages, they're actually far easier to accomplish than it is making the transition from 1 to 2 or even 2 to 3. Like, you get to stage 3 where now all of a sudden you are inconsistently going to the gym, inconsistently meeting with a trainer, inconsistently going for a run or a bike ride. At least you're doing it. And now we get to start to kind of fine tune things and get you consistently doing it, which is stage 4. You are now consistently exercising. But it's still for these, what we're calling external results. Again, build your muscles, change your physiques, drop body fat, playing sports, doing group fitness classes or group classes or small group training, going to the gym and thinking about lifting weights, all right, how much weight can I lift? Those are all kind of external things that you are trying to accomplish with your exercise. But now you're doing it consistently in this stage 4. So you're doing it anywhere from 2 to 7 days a week. You're consistently doing it. And this is a really great place to be, but it can also be a really dangerous place to be as well. All right, let me explain. So it's a really great place to be because similar to stage 3, now you're doing it. Now it's definitely part of your lifestyle. You've built it into your day. You've built it into your week, and you're going to be able to consistently get the health benefits of exercising. So that is awesome. The danger comes from the focus on the external. because so often the things that stop us from exercising are less about the external and more about the internal, where our body just can't tolerate exercising how we've been doing it up to this point. And because it can no longer tolerate doing it that way, a lot of times people stop exercising and they go from stage 4 all the way back to stage 1 or stage 2 where they're no longer exercising. And once you stop exercising, that's when you stop getting the health benefits of exercising. So stage 4, this is a place where you can make a huge leap forward in your health and how you're feeling and how your physique looks and everything like that, everything you want to accomplish from exercise. But in order to kind of keep those results, we need to be able to take a step into stage 5, which we will tell you more about. Stage 4 is definitely the stage that I think the majority of people who are exercising fall into. Would you agree with that, Julie?
I would totally agree. And I think the biggest thing with stage 4 is that your body is very vulnerable to injury and overuse. Okay. Because when we're exercising in this stage 4, you're consistent, and it's still usually for external goals, then we only exercise when we feel like we can give 100%. And a lot of times 100% is not what we need to be doing all the time, right? So I totally agree. Most people are in stage 4. It's a great phase to be in. That means you're consistently exercising. But a lot of people in stage 4, you'll notice that their routine is like, I'm consistent, and then my thing flares up, whatever that thing is, or they get an injury, and then they're kind of posted up for a while, and then they get back into it, and then they're posted up for a while, and then they get back into it. So instead of it being like inconsistent, it's like cyclically consistent, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And I think that's really a telltale sign that you're kind of in stage 4, or at least, bouncing back between stage 3 and stage 4, where if you talk to somebody and they're like, oh yeah, I work out 5 days a week, but I have this thing that every once in a while stops me from working out, for an extended period of time. Well, that's a telltale sign that you're either in stage 4 or kind of bouncing back between stage 3 and stage 4. So most people that exercise on a consistent basis, I would say, are in stage 4, and then as soon as their thing flares up, like you're saying, Julie, they kind of fall back to stage 3 or even stage 2 or 1, depending on whether they are inconsistently exercising or no longer exercising. But yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Now, it's important that we push you to get into stage 5. And I think most people never get to stage 5 because no one knows about it. They think, if I'm exercising consistently and pushing myself, that's perfect. Now, the problem is what Charlie and I just brought up, is that you're going to probably be in this cyclical category, which means that you push yourself when you're there, and then when you get injured, then you stop. And what we had just brought up is that you really only get the exercise health benefits when you're participating in exercise. So part of your exercise program needs to be programmed in. That's like a protection plan. It's like, I need to do something, or it needs to be in my plan that I'm protecting my body so that I can keep doing this. Really, the only thing we usually program in is push myself. And that's a huge problem. So stage 5 is exercise for life. It's what Charlie and I are always talking about, exercising so that you can live your life, and exercise so that you can exercise for the length of your life. Both really incredibly important things. And this stage is where we transition from having external goals, getting stuff done, looking different, all those types of goals, to internal goals. Improve my health, value the function of my knee, improve the way my body's functioning, and not ever degrading those things, because that's often what happens when we're only focused on external goals.
Yeah, one of the coolest things that we see is when people transition from stage 4 to stage 5, just a difference that they notice in how they feel and how they're able to function throughout their day. I mean, don't get me wrong, like people in stage 4, they're working out hard, they're working out consistently. But Julie, how many clients have you had that came in, started training with you, that were working out on their own consistently before, and they're like, wow, this is completely different. Not just like what you're doing, but how their body's feeling, how their body's functioning. I mean, it's really common here at MAS for us to hear things like that when people make this transition from stage 4, consistently exercising, but for external results, to stage 5, which is this exercise for life, consistently exercising for internal results.
Yeah, I see it all the time. We get a lot of people in all different phases, but definitely ones from stage 4 where they're like, hey, I can push myself. I'm doing this. But then they're having to take all these breaks, like a month off here, a month off there. But by changing how they're exercising, not necessarily always intensity, because we do go very intense when we're here to get the results we're looking for, but with the goal of improving the internal. And when we do that, people take off way less time from exercise and can continue to exercise, because also exercise feels good. We get a lot of people that, I hate when I'm injured, because then it affects my mental health, because, it makes me feel good when I'm exercising and all that kind of stuff that Charlie and I don't specialize in, but, is a really great side effect of exercise. We see a lot of people from all the different phases though, and getting to this exercise for life, the consistency of exercising for sustainable results is so incredibly important, and we hope that you get to experience it someday as well.
Absolutely. So wherever you are in your exercise journey, whether you are not exercising right now and you have no desire to exercise, or you are exercising for life, you're consistently exercising for improving the internal health and function of your body. Wherever you are in that journey, you have the opportunity to continue to bump yourself towards that stage 5, that exercise for life. And then once you get there, to maintain that stage 5, that exercise for life actions and exercise for life mentality.
I do want to note that you don't actually have to go through all the stages of exercise ever. I mean, use exercise for what suits you, right? We also see a lot of clients that are in stage 1, remember, you're not even interested, so you're not going to be looking for a trainer. But stage 2, or if you're transitioning to stage 2, we get a lot of people in that phase too, right? I don't currently exercise and I have a desire to. And sometimes people take an action in stage 2, hire someone like me or you or one of our colleagues, and go straight to stage 5. Which is cool. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do all the in-between stuff.
That's true.
And that's kind of cool. It's very efficient. But a lot of people like to try it on their own, I think, before they hire a trainer. Some people don't, which is cool too. So I just wanted to highlight that. You might be in a stage, but you might not have to go through every stage to get to the exercise for life strategy.
Yeah, well said. That's a great point. And I think that's definitely worth noting again that, hey, wherever you're at, you can get to stage 5. But you don't have to necessarily, like Julie was saying, go stage 1, then stage 2, then stage 3. You can go from wherever you're at right to stage 5. And how do you do that? You do that by applying the things that we talk about on this podcast, by applying the things that we talk about in our 2-Minute Tuesdays, through all of our content, because all of that is geared towards educating you on how to best exercise for life. So if you'd like to learn more about this, definitely check out our previous content. You can shoot us an email at info@matschaumburg.com. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. And be sure to follow our social profiles, because we put content out on those daily about different things that you can do to help progress you towards this stage 5 exercise for life stage of fitness. So who do you know that needs to hear this episode? Who do you know that is somewhere along their exercise journey and they want to progress? They're not exercising, but they know they should, or they're not exercising at all. They have no interest to it, but you feel like they should be exercising. Share this episode with them so they can identify where they're at in their exercise journey, and then learn the action steps that they can start taking now to progress them towards stage 5 exercise for life. And while you're online, if you wouldn't mind, head on over to iTunes and leave us a rating and review. It helps our podcast show up higher when people are searching for podcasts on exercise and for when people are searching for podcasts on health. So if you found value in this discussion today, let us know by leaving us that 5-star rating and review. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. We always appreciate it. Have a fantastic week. We'll talk with you all next week.